Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark mystery movies.
I'm Brian, and I like Hallmark mystery movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark mystery movies, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Friday's episode of Deck the Hallmark.
You doing something new, Brand?
Well, it's Friday. You got to bring a certain bit of energy.
Yeah.
Friday.
Fridays have always been a tough one for us. We had the Signed, Sealed, Delivered,
Yeah.
which were fun, and then we were like, the shows are actually good. What do we do?
Yeah.
And then we've tried a bunch of things. It's tough to bring the energy on Friday.
But today, we've got a new mystery.
We're doing an old Michael Cera film called Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
I think you watched the wrong one.
I did what?
Again?
There's a new Hallmark movies and mystery.
Oh, no.
Nikki and Nora, Sister Sleuths.
Sister Sleuths.
That's right.
Samara in this
Samara
one?
was
Samara's not in it.
Oh, man.
Should have.
Sister Sleuths.
Sister Sleuths.
All right, let me ask you this question.
Please
and
do.
be honest. Favorite sister, favorite sleuth?
Oh, man.
Of the two of them,
No, of all time.
of all time,
Favorite sister.
my favorite sister is my sister-in-law, Sarah. And my favorite sleuth, I got to go Sherlock Holmes. You can't not go Sherlock, right?
You cannot go Sherlock.
All right, what are you going with?
Well, I was going to go for favorite sister, Ashley Banks, obviously.
Okay.
And for Sleuth, it's got to be Jax, right?
Yeah,
Got to go
probably.
Jax.
Like Jacqueline Collier?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a sleuth.
Sleuth.
Oh, my gosh. All right, if you say so.
I
Yeah.
am going to go with the Sister Act 2.
Yep. That's a good choice.
Like, which sister? Sister Dolores?
Yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg?
Yes.
Okay, Sister Dolores is your answer.
Yes, but Sister Act 2 version.
Back in the habit. I mean, she's back in the habit.
But you told me Sister Act 3 is coming out.
That's right, kicking the habit.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Keke Palmer's going to be in it.
Keke Palmer's going to be in it.
I'm irrationally excited.
No, me too.
I'm a big Sister Act stan. Dan and I
What?
both are.
Sister Act
Sister Act stan.
We are big Sister Act boys. We like the second one better.
Yeah,
It's a better movie.
it's a better movie.
Sister Act 2, Home Alone 2, both better than the originals. Fight me. Yes.
Wash my sins away. Oh, happy day. Come on. And my favorite
Crowd is not
sleuth.
into it.
My favorite
They can
sleuth
get out.
is a little
Here we go.
cartoon like
Is it
squirrel.
Clammy or Crandall?
Oh, it's like a little cartoon squirrel that has a little eyeglass.
The Great
I
Mouse
just
Detective?
yeah.
Okay.
You know the one.
How's Grape
A
doing?
monocle, I think is the word.
How is Grape doing?
Yeah. We kept Grape in business single-handedly with Bramblefest.
I
Fact.
just want to say this really quickly. I don't think that it is a
Crisis?
no a coincidence that I brought up Grape going away. There was an outpouring of support for Grape.
Yes.
Pop-Tart brought back the grape flavor following that uproar.
Outpouring. Yep.
Can I tell you something? I was pro-grape until I watched you eat Big League Chew grape flavors. And I quickly became anti-grape. You shoved that in your mouth like it is Levi Garrett chewing tobacco.
Dude, what were we watching
But
where
you're
they
a
did a
child.
Grape League Chew joke?
I don't know. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, it was so funny.
It's disgusting. Grape Big League Chew is disgusting. And watching you just hammer it down like you've never had food in your life.
Traumatic for you, huh?
It is. It's tough.
It ruined it.
So I'm out on grape.
It was always Extraordinary Christmas.
Okay.
There
Was
a
that
Grape League-
recent?
There was a
There was a Big
there
League
was
Chew
a Big
joke
League
in
Chew
the
joke.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. And
It was a
brought
really
back,
funny joke.
I went hard on Big League Chew for
Yeah.
about a week.
You did.
And if
Real
it was
hard.
still here, I'd still be going hard on it.
That's
You
right.
would?
I have just
All right.
globs, because, guys, can I be honest with you?
Please.
I don't spit out my gum
Yeah.
50% of the time.
We talked about this.
50% of the time I swallow it.
50% of the
That's a
time you
lot.
swallow.
50% of
It's
the
a
time.
lot of gum.
Well, to be fair, I don't eat a lot of gum.
Chew. Most of us say chew, but in your case, it would be
Yeah, it would
yes.
be. But when you do, you are eating it.
That's right.
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I don't chew a lot of gum, therefore I don't swallow a lot of gum. But there was a week here at the office where I did chew a lot of Big League Chew, and I swallowed 50% of it.
Just can you move?
I just don't think with the business, like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
If they're, I've heard from people that are like, yeah, that's kind of.
That's the consensus. Yeah.
I've heard from people that are like, yeah.
Well, like from best I can gather, like science is kind of like meow the old thing.
They
Yeah,
probably
like,
haven't gotten to this one quite yet.
It's like the pizza down at the old over there. You know, it's like
Oh,
this.
yeah.
There's a little of this going on. That's right.
Pizzas,
Can anybody else back me up on this? Like, what's
Yeah,
the big-
actually, I don't think swallowing gum is that bad for you. That was a myth.
Yep.
I will say if you swallow half the gum that you chew, it might be bad for you.
Big League chews a lot of gum, though.
It is.
I mean,
That's
this-
wads of gum.
It's a lot
it
of
is
gum.
as much as you want it to be. That's why I like it.
That's why you like it.
That's why I
Nobody
like it.
tells you how much gum you're putting
That's
in
exactly
your mouth.
right.
Sheesh.
I don't see anybody backing me up on it in the chat, which is
You can join the chat, bramblejamplus.com,
Yep.
and tell Brandy's wrong, but you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
all right. Are we ready? Nikki and Nora, Sister Sleuths,
Yep.
originally aired
Got it.
on October 2nd on the Hallmark Movies and the Mysteries channel, and it went a little something like this. Movie kicks off with a fancy boy running through his house, blood on his hands, big disgrace, washing them off and cleaning his face. And then he goes to try to get blood off the face. Dang it, that's what I should have done. No! No! Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Cut it.
Movie
Start
kicks
from
off with a
again.
fancy boy running through the house, blood on his hand, big disgrace, washing his hands, guys, tries to get rid of the vase.
No. First one was better, actually. So I don't know.
There's a vase he's trying to get rid of. So he takes that vase outside,
He's
throws
also
it.
cleaning his place.
He's
cleaned
doing
his
that.
place,
Another
yeah.
one, too.
Throws it in the dumpster, runs off. There's a woman lying there dead in his apartment. The next day, that guy is sitting in a police investigation room and he says, I want my lawyer. His lawyer shows up. Her name is Nora, and she's a hotshot lawyer who is going to try to help him out. Cut to a young actor named Nikki who is doing an audition, and the casting folks are clearly not feeling it. And then she shows up to her apartment. Her landlord is putting up an eviction notice. A lawyer shows up and says that he has some guy who has left your name in a will and you get his business. If you don't want his business,
You get his business.
you get his
So he's
business.
giving her the.
He's giving her
giving her the business.
Unbelievable.
Giving you the business.
This guy can't even stop giving him the business when he's dead.
If you don't want the business,
Unbelievable.
if you don't want him to give you the business, I can sell the business. I can give the business to somebody else. There's enough business to go around. And you can just get the money. I'll get 10% of that sucker.
Yeah.
She's like, great, that would be really helpful right now. And he's like, well, here's the thing. I'm going to need one more signature. Your sister.
Sister.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, Jesus, why? So she goes to visit Nora, and apparently they haven't seen each other in 10 years. Apparently, their parents died when they were younger, 10-ish years ago, give or take. And Nikki just left, went to New York to pursue acting. So Nora, pretty mad at her for just showing up and asking for a favor. But Nikki is
Just
like,
giving him the business, asking for a favor. Why are you asking me for a favor?
but
You
Nikki,
working on a character over there, Brandon?
yeah, man, I'm always doing that. But Nikki is like, someone left a detective agency to us. We should look into this. So she's like, fine, but I gotta go see my boss at his house, so just tag along. So they go to see the boss at the house, door's cracked, they go in, things seem off. So Nora starts snooping around, sees a note on his laptop that says, and I quote, I couldn't do it anymore, I'm sorry. So when Nora stumbles upon a dead body, gun in hand, head shot, she's like, this doesn't seem good. But Nora doesn't think that this was suicide. There's just too much wrong with this.
What are you doing?
I don't know, man. It's Friday. Let's get fun.
Too much wrong with
Get
this.
crazy.
And she had an email that was sent to her by the boss, Bruce Springsteen,
You know, I've been good this year.
Bruce doesn't send his own.
Sending
email.
you an email.
35 minutes ago, followed by an email from her boss 30 minutes before his death.
Not Bruce Springsteen.
That was like, hey, the meeting's been moved. The meeting's been moved to Thursday.
The meeting moved.
So it's like something feels wrong. Maybe swallowing 50% of your gum isn't good.
This
for
is
you.
not looking good.
Maybe somebody put this in the chat. Maybe the swallowing all the gum is the cause of the intermittent fasting fiasco.
Ooh. You don't think it's related?
No, there's no calories in gum.
You would think it would
There
help,
are
actually.
calories in gum, Brand. Sugar.
Not Big League Chew.
Yeah, definitely Big League
Big
Chew.
League Chew's 0 calorie.
There's no world where it's 0 calories.
Because Big League choose to be no calories.
They choose to do no calories?
Yeah.
Sounds like some panda logic.
And here we go. So she's like, something feels off. So there's a lot of moving parts here. Nora is dealing with the death of her boss. There's an extra caseload that her boss was working on, including the guy from the beginning. There's random business from this guy that they don't know. They see a picture of him. He's with their parents. So like clearly there's some sort of relation that they still haven't figured out. So they decide that they're going to work on this case together. Because by all accounts of the police, this is clear as crystal. The evidence has come back. It's a suicide. So they decide to do it up good.
Yep.
A full murder wall with string and whatnot.
I saw Full Murder live. Oh my goodness.
Good?
Yeah.
You went without me, and I haven't forgiven you.
Their brass band was unbelievable.
You know how much I love a
You
wrestling.
had a bachelor party.
So you wouldn't have been able to come in. There's no way.
It was a different one. It was,
I had to go to somebody.
Andy's.
It was Andy's?
Andy's bachelor party.
Dude, her biotics.
Top notch.
Top notch.
So we went from Annie to Andy.
Yeah.
Antibiotics.
It's a hard T. That sounds like a D.
So, Nikki moves in with Nora after, the whole
Playlist.
playlist incident. There's this guy who threatened her boss the day that he was murdered. So they're kind of thinking maybe it's him, but they're striking out. They can't pin anything on him. They go look into this assistant guy who would go over and get the laundry. And he's like, no, it wasn't me. But they do some more sleuthing, baby. Don't they do some sleuthing with
So much sleuthing.
with security cameras and whatnot? And they figure out that he's having an affair with the boss's wife, not Bruce Springsteen, like their specific boss. And so they go and talk to the wife.
You little girl still sleuthing out there.
So they go to confront the wife because
Hope you find that cop killer. Hope he brings you a saxophone.
So there's motive, right? Like she was, cheating and maybe he found out and so she killed him. So they go to talk and she's like, no, I didn't. And I have proof that we were at a hotel that night. But then they go and they talk to the angry guy again. And his son comes up and says, hey, I was at the house the night with a baseball bat trying to take down a statue. I was mad at him for messing up my dad's life and not helping enough, and so I thought I'd take matters in my own hands and just kind of chip away at this old red bear. Did the best I could. But I heard someone coming, so I hid in the woods, and all I heard him say as this guy approached was the word detective. So she assumes that it's the detective at the police station that hates her. She thinks that he was bribing the detective to get rid of evidence in the case from the beginning, okay? Because there's shoes that clearly match him. So, hey, here's some money. Get rid of the shoes. Get rid of the problem.
No
and
shoes,
so
no shirt, no problem.
that's exactly right. While all this is happening, Nora's house gets broken into.
Clues? What? Clues?
So they go to this guy, Robbie. Robbie is a cop as well that is clearly into Nora. Nora is clearly into Robbie. They're going to stay at his house. And do they end up kissing? Yeah. So the next day, they go to break into the detective's house to find evidence, but he catches them. So they try to run away, catches them before they can run away. She just decides, you know what? Let's just lay it all out there. Let's just lay it all out there. I'm just going to accuse you of murder right here, right now. So she says, hey, basically, here's kind of what I think happened. Just working idea here. You can tell me kind of where I'm missing it. I think you killed my boss because of bribe money. Am I close? I got a witness saying that
10 grand.
he heard about a detective walking up. I've got $10K missing from an envelope. What's going on? And so that's when this detective says, I didn't want to believe it. Robbie comes walking around the corner.
Is he Gowan?
And he says, dang it, Robbie. Robbie says, all right, fine, yes, it was me. And he just kind of comes right out and says it. He says, so basically, I was my best I can gather, my niece needed an ear surgery. So I took bribe money a while back, and I was trying to get out, but your boss was like, no, you can't get out. I need you to get rid of the shoes. Tell him about the fancy shoes. And so I told him no. He said, I'm not just going to let you not. And so then he decided to basically frame him for suicide. Does that all make sense?
Wheels are wobbling.
Perfect sense.
So he gets arrested.
Can't believe he got caught.
Nikki and Nora decide to keep... Oh, it happened again.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Decided to keep the detective agency and investigate who the heck this guy is, how he knew their parents, and that, my friends, was Nikki and Nora, the Sister Sleuths.
We did it.
Mm-hmm.
Sleuthing.
It's our third time this year with the theme running out, Bran.
We're just having...
And there was no... What was the dumb thing that made it go long the first time? There was no, like, weird bit in the middle of it.
Was the Big League Chew during the middle?
It was the Big
gum?
League Chew, so
Might
it
have
was.
been the
The
gum
classic Big
sticky
League Chew.
situation there.
Yes,
The donkey was the first one. That's
Yep.
what it was.
Yeah.
So,
Listen, we all have our things. So we'll be right back here
our
on
show prep.
Deck the Hallmark. We're back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the program. We're talking about Nikki and Nora, the latest mystery series, possibly, on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
Could they?
Let's see what we think about it. Let's start with you, Brian. Hot take. What do you think about Nikki and Nora and those sister sleuths?
Those sister sleuths worked for me. I really like this. I like the idea of the sisters coming together from different worlds. They have a common problem with the parent situation. Something that was really unique to me with this movie was I felt like all the characters were really interesting. Like George, the
Really
boss,
interesting.
really interesting. Okay, it's different. It's the emphasis is different there, Dan. So George, the guy who was murdered, emphasis. I was curious about what his backstory was. I was curious about the backstory of the wife there and the relationship. Like all the characters seem to have something going on. I feel like they did a good job of giving a little bit, enough to tell you there's some depth here, but not giving everything away. And so it was really intriguing. And there were more close-ups of wounded heads than I expected in this movie.
Yeah.
But I really liked it. I hope we get more.
Of the wounded head?
Yeah,
Wounded
wounded
head.
heads.
Of
Big
this
wounded head
series.
boy. Yeah.
Big wounded head boy.
Yeah.
It's out. Secret's out.
Cats out of the bag.
You run the Instagram account, Wounded Heads?
Big Wounded Head Boy.
111?
I will
That's
not. 111 and 112.
Golly gee, did I love this. Nikki and Nora, come back anytime. That's all I can say, really. That's all I can really say about this one. I thought they were so great together. I bought them as sisters. I just thought it was the most fun. I thought that this was a really, fun mystery, and I cannot believe that they let Nora kiss the killer.
That's right.
I thought for sure. I was like, Robbie might have done it. I don't know what Robbie's motive is, but then they kissed her. It was like, well, it can't be Robbie. It can't be Robbie, right? Kudos.
Yeah.
Because the minute that she kissed Robbie, I wrote Robbie off.
Did I write him off?
No, you did not, Dan.
You made sure to let us know.
But
that you did not.
listen, new Hallmark. This is new Hallmark, guys.
And that's what I told you.
This is new Hallmark where you can kiss killers and get away with it. But he doesn't get away with it.
Wait a
That's kind of the whole thing. So I really, really liked this one. I thought it was a lot of fun. And the fact that they're going to be running this detective agency, I'm actually kind of intrigued by who this guy was. And I would watch many of these. So bring it on. Bring it on, boys.
Nailed it. I did guess it, which I'm very proud of, because when when she kissed the killer, that was the big throw off, and I was like, no, this guy still did it. We don't know why yet, but he did it. This is a movie with the ability to create a series that's actually worth watching. Like, I cared a lot more about the longer mystery than I did the short mystery. Yeah. So the fact that this dude leaves them this detective agency, which brings them closer together, and at the end of the movie, we don't get resolution on that. We get this guy knew my parents. Is this guy, could he still be alive somehow? There's a lot that you could do with the setup for the long-term mystery and the long game of this series that I do want more of these. The two leads completely bought as sisters. They did a great job there. The mystery itself fell prey to a lot of the problems with Hallmark mysteries, which is just plot, introduce a character, give you reasons why they could do it over and over again until they explain why one of them did it. I just feel like they don't have to rely that much on that, but they do in this movie. But the long-term possibilities, like, unlike the crossword mysteries, where Brendan Elliott and Lacey Chabert, great star wattage, they have this mystery with the crosswords that is all the clues. Great idea. But it's like, why are we making more of these? Why would someone also be another crossword killer? I never watched another one. This movie, the plot of this one didn't do much for me, but the backstory and what they could do made me excited to watch a mystery again, which hasn't been the case since Mystery 101.
And I will say the thing that they've done with this one, they've set up a mystery that isn't related, as far as we know, to a murder.
That's right.
Which is, who is this guy that had this detective
and maybe he was murdered. We don't know.
Maybe he killed their parents.
Maybe.
Because there is something weird with the parents. So like there's cool stuff that they've set up here.
Teeming with possibilities. Yeah. And that is new Hallmark. To not wrap it up in a bow, like, that gave me a lot of hope for them to renew this. It's female-driven. Both leads are great.
How do we say Fish's name? Rhiannon?
Rhiannon, yes.
Rhiannon Fish and Hunter King?
Gula.
Yes.
Love them both.
They were great as sisters. They were.
Yeah, and we've liked them apart as well.
That's right.
They've been doing great work.
Yeah.
So happy to see them teamed up. And I did a little Instagram sleuthing as well. Ooh. They seem to have a ton of fun shooting this together, which is always great. When you got two people that are like putting a bunch of stuff on social media showing that they're having fun, it showed in the movie.
It's shown in the movie.
Showed in the movie. And also eat 50% of your gum, not a big deal. That's what I also found while sleuthing. The internet, I typed in, is it okay to eat 50% of your gum? And the internet just said, like, shrug emoji. Like, Brian, feels for you, buddy?
So I think for me, the big feels were near the end, where you found there might be a mystery around the parents' situation, what happened with them. And that just, I leaned forward in my chair the first time around seeing that. And that was just, it just was like, ooh, there's a mystery. There's that, the chills a little bit. Like, I thought they were done with mysteries. And at the very end, they hit you with that. What was I trying to say? The unfinished story. I couldn't get it out, the words out. But they hit you with this mystery at the end that's just like an uppercut. You're like, oh, man, I cannot believe they did it again. So that was a good feels.
That's the feels, man.
Yeah,
it was great.
That's the feels.
It was the perfect ending for this movie. It set up the next one so great. It left you legitimately wanting more. I haven't wanted more out of a Hallmark movie since the last Mystery 101.
That's the first, aside from the end of the last Mystery 101, the only other time I've ever gotten chills watching a Hallmark mystery is the end of this movie, where you see that he knew the parents and somehow they didn't know about it. Beautiful ending, better than the movie itself. Here for it.
Let's take one more quick break, and we'll be right back here on Deck the Hallmark on WKSH.
Zima.
Welcome back, guys. We're talking about Nikki and Nora. I'm not going to do it today. We're talking about.
I don't blame you.
Talking about
there. We're talking sound effects. I didn't get it.
Talking about Nikki and Nora. Let's get to the wait. What was there a lot of them? Let's find out.
It's tough in a mystery. You know, talk about this, but there were a couple of things that I was just like, okay, I don't know about that. And the first thing, the big one, was when Robbie, his explanation for what he did, the killer. He killed out of honor, seemingly, because he didn't want somebody getting away with murder, so he murdered.
Even though he's a police officer and could do this thing called arrest them.
Yeah, but it sounds like he made the best choice in that situation that he was in for the moment, right?
Yeah, I think it was, if I arrest your boss will out me. So, like...
For what?
for taking the initial
$10,000. But that's still better.
There was a first bribe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So he had already been bribed once for the ear surgery.
Yes.
So he has them.
It's the second.
Those
bribe.
fancy
So this
shoes.
was the second bribe.
Yeah.
And
But
this was the one where he was
That's
like, I don't
still
want to
better
do
than
that.
murder, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
But he's
Maybe
almost detective. Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried to do this weird thing where it was like hey, he did it for a good reason, but like there's still so much
Yeah,
shadiness.
no.
Lots of shady
Not
doings.
buying it.
The other one I had was a big one. It's around the actual murdering. I think you might touch on it with the hitting in the head. Were you going to have to cover
No,
that?
I wasn't.
Go ahead.
They show him murdering George.
Just waylaying him in the back of the head with a candle.
Just whacks
stick.
him in the back of the head, and then I don't know. I guess shoots him, which we don't see him do that part. But there's just no. I mean, blunt force trauma, and a gunshot. There's just no way.
Even if the blunt force trauma didn't kill him, it would have come back in autopsy.
And
Exactly.
the worst coroner award goes
Yes,
to
exactly.
this coroner who
It's just-
pronounced him dead by suicide.
Yes. So that was just a huge one.
How do you miss a giant blunt force trauma to the back of the head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. It was a big miss there, but
I'm just most of my Weight Watch take place in this cop bar, right?
Yeah, there's a lot there.
I'm truly fascinated that every IPA comes in a clear coffee mug.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that is. I don't feel like I've ever seen it. Like most, you get a beer, it comes in a nice glass.
Yeah,
you
pint
know,
glass.
Yeah.
pint glass. These come in clear
Yeah.
mugs
Clear glass,
with a
full
hand-
mug, can't lose.
Can't
with
lose.
you can get that sure. But
yeah.
I've never. I don't drink.
Never seen
I don't drink a
those?
lot of beers. I've seen them for like coffee,
Yeah.
hot cocoa. I have some,
Yeah.
but I've never seen it for.
It's not like an intuitive beer mug. Like,
It isn't.
You would not pour a beer into it. Yeah.
Yeah. They also have $5 wings with no explanation given to
None.
them.
That's the big one.
It's just like $5 wings. Find out what you get. Is it $5 per wing? Is it $5? I don't know. $5 for what?
$5 wings doesn't make any sense. An order of wings is $5.
Yeah.
How big's the order? I don't know.
And this is probably more of a what the Hallmark. But like, is this an anyone can go to bar? Is this like because she's a lawyer, so she's still kind of in the field. But I don't know.
It's run by this
It's
woman
one-
that used to be like, she was a cop. She retired
Yeah, and
police
it's like
officer.
all cops are in there.
Yeah.
All cop themed. I don't know. I don't know about this place.
No.
I still got questions about
Yeah,
it.
that's more than fair. I want the security camera that is affixed to the front of this house across this neighbor's house, because it, from a distance of 50 yards, can get the license plate.
Yeah.
That is not a security camera designed to protect your house. That is one designed to do some sleuthing of your own. Like, that is not what CPI or, Vivint or whomever is installing in Ring doorbell. I mean, you can barely tell a person on those things. This thing's picking up license plate letters and numbers from a football field away. It's impressive. There's zoom. It's next level.
Who hurt you, lady?
Yeah, no
That made you go,
kidding.
I need the best
Pay
of the
extra
best.
for that. May I present to you the worst baseball swing of all time? This guy is hitting a baseball bat. He's hitting a statue of like a lion or something. And I guess they're hitting it and he doesn't want to break it for the take. And so he just kind of like decelerates and just kind of like doesn't want to hit it. Very weird way to be angry.
But I do want to point out, it is broken.
But the way he hits it is like...
But we don't see him break it.
That's right. We see him hit it and not break it.
Right.
And his swing is absurd. It wouldn't break anything.
Why didn't they have him break it?
I don't know.
Did it like break later? Did the statue go, I can't
Maybe
hold
it's a
on
different one. They didn't want to break it for
Maybe.
props.
Maybe.
I will say that the hardest part to believe on this was that someone in a big city, a landlord in the big city, would have all the eviction papers ready to go, have them on the wall, and then hear the tenant say, I'm up for a role in a play, and go, you know what? In that case, let me take all these papers down. Like, if you've gotten to the point where the papers are on the building, getting an audition doesn't exactly buy you any capital with this person that's going to take your place of residence from you. That's just not how it works at all. I'll save the last one I have for What the Hallmark.
Well, good thing.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
here.
Are we here?
It's here. It's time for What the
Yes.
Hallmark. Bri?
What if the landlady and that personal injury lawyer end up getting together in the future? Because those two were like my
Dynamite.
two favorite.
Yeah.
But my big one was George, the guy who was murdered, the boss. Like they made it seem like he was up to some shady doings in his lifetime, and I really want to know what his story is. Like, what's he done, and how did he get where he is?
His last name's Grimes, so
tells me almost everything I need to know.
Yeah.
Mine is I don't know how long that Nikki has actually been back in Chicago, because she's there long enough to get an eviction notice. She tells Nora a couple months.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
So I don't know if she's lying to Nora, if she's actually been there a year.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Or if this is a weird month by month and she just never paid a month.
Evict immediately situation.
Because if she says you've missed 2 payments, has she just never paid? I don't know. I'm foggy on those details. I'd love that answer.
Yeah.
Dan?
I want to know how long this bartender who owns the bar, who used to be a cop, has been out of the police force. Because she talks about George Grimes or whatever, and she was like, never a speeding ticket in his life. Does she still have access to all of those files? How does she know what he's been up to since she's been running the bar?
Yeah, they did make it seem as if it was relatively recently.
But also that it's an institution that's been around for forever.
Yeah.
So I just want to know how long the bar's been there, how long she's been owning it, how long she's been out of the police force.
Did they say that the bar used to belong to her dad or something like that? Did they sneak that in there at some point?
I don't know.
Because the reason
she seems pretty young to have been to be retired.
Well, she got ousted.
Yeah.
So by the guy who's currently detective.
That's right.
So it's like, and that guy's not old.
But she got retirement stuff because they said she retired. That's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess out there. We did, everybody. Congratulations. Another week. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what a week. And we got another one coming back. Next one.
Next one coming at you.
Until then, maybe the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is the That Sounds Fun podcast. It's produced by Tracy Noah's name. It's recorded live in that Greenville, South Carolina. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com.